it's just the market, correcting itself. And when the capitulation part happened, where it's just the market dropped, from 10 grand to 3 grand, it was scary. I started to even...
Welcome back to Young Smart Money with me, your host, Apple Crider. Today we're sitting down with Nick Gomez to talk about network marketing and cryptocurrency. Okay, these are spaces that I have a ton of interest in. Network marketing because it's where so many of the people that I have on the podcast got their start in entrepreneurship, and crypto because it's always trendy right now. We're seeing this big bounce back. So I just want to have somebody on the podcast who could share some information because, again, I haven't had very many people on the podcast talk about crypto, and I know there's a lot of you guys out there. I'm getting a lot of messages from people who are interested in the crypto space. So because I want to serve you guys the best that I can, I wanted to get somebody on the podcast who has experience in the cryptocurrency space. So we're going to be talking about both of those areas. So whether you're interested in one or both of those, or you just want to talk about personal development, we talk about a lot of that as well. So I know you're going to get a ton of value out of this show. I know I did. Nick is the man. I really enjoyed talking to this dude. He's really passionate about what he talks about. So without further ado, we're just going to hop right on in to the podcast with Nick Gomez. So wherever you guys are at right now listening to the podcast, I want you guys to sit back, relax, plug in, and enjoy this episode of Young Smart Money. All right, Nick, welcome to Young Smart Money. How are you doing today?
Good, my man. How's it going?
It is going very, very well. I'm having an absolutely wonderful day. How are you?
Great. Here we have an air show here in Miami, man. So enjoying the views, enjoying the show.
I love it, man. It looks like you got a great view over there.
Yeah. No, downtown here in downtown Miami, man. The bay, the water, and the views are nuts. I'm a view guy, man. I love the views.
I love it, man. I love it. So our listeners got to hear a bit about Nick Gomez, what you're currently up to right now in the intro to this episode. But for those of them that aren't super familiar with who you are, what you're working on, give us like a 60-second snapshot of where you're at right now.
Yeah, 100%. So pretty much who I am as an entrepreneur, I love teaching the space of cryptocurrency, the ins and out on how you could trade, invest correctly with our company. And, I travel around the states, around the world, just really giving people the correct knowledge so I understand where cryptocurrency is going. And that's pretty much the basics of what I do. I do marketing, some other passive income streams that I dabble in, but that's pretty much my main focus.
Awesome. I love it. So the place where I like to start all the interviews off at is really flashing back in time to like your early upbringing in childhood. So talk to us now about your like middle school, high school years. Okay. Were you somebody who was entrepreneurially minded, like selling shoes in the back of the classroum? Were you taking school very seriously? What'd that look like?
100%. So the craziest thing is I started selling cookies and creams, Hershey bars out of middle school, man. So I grew up, not a silver spoon, I don't come from money at all. I come from a single mother, raised me 3 different jobs. I saw her work at CVS, Target, the works, try to put, a roof over my head and food on the plate. And she taught me a lot of what hard work was, but I also thought I need to do something different at a young age. So middle school, I started looking at different ways because the funny thing is I started selling chocolate in middle school because I wanted an Xbox. So my mom couldn't afford to buy me one. So I actually started selling Hershey's and cookies and cream. I would put them in the fridge so they're nice and cold. I put them in the nice Crayola box and then just have them nice and cold, sell them at $1 a piece. And if I remember right, I think I'd make like $12, $15 profit per box. So it was just my little gig, man. I bought my Xbox like that. And then that's where it all really became, and started. And then on to Craigslist really when I was young.
Solid, man. I didn't know anybody actually ate those cookies and cream Hershey's. I thought they sort of just like were out there, but I guess
I love them, man. But from selling them so much, it got sick. Yeah, no, I hear you. I can't look at them even still this day. I can't. I see them in Publix or wherever I do groceries at way.
For real. So talk to us now about how that transitioned into like you mentioned Craigslist. Like, what were you doing next?
Yeah, so I started off with the chocolate bars, and then I started seeing Craigslist as an outlook to sell iPhones, and I would buy, used iPhones, try to flip them, try to make $50, $100 a piece. And anything I found in my room or anything that I could find. See, the interesting part was I went to a school. This is something I give, a lot of thanks to my mom. She put me in an environment, at least in my high school, was with people with a lot of money, at least, whether it was family money or whatever the case was. And I took the bus every day about an hour. So she paid for a private bus, an hour every day. I'd have to wake up like at 5, 4 in the morning to take that bus and go to this place. And I go to high school with all these people that, 16-year-olds, BMWs, Porsches, you know what I mean? The works. And she created that environment for me. And a lot of my friends would let go of things. And I started using Craigslist as an outlook, you know, to just either sell them or flip phones, the works. And then that started developing, you know, this entrepreneurship spirit in me. But, you know, that didn't pay as much as anyone would think. So I started off, my first job actually was at 17, man. I had the Justin Bieber hair. I had the long, you know, the mop on the head. That's what I had, man, back in high school. And I got my first job in Hollister. And that's where I saw what the workforce was really like. And I quit in 2 weeks. And
Wow.
I said this wasn't for me. And little do you know, I met my mentor, you know, 2 weeks, right when I quit, I met my mentor who brought me into affiliate network marketing, who's made millions of dollars in the space. And he really started, you know, I guess you could call him my rich dad. He really started to pour into me, show me the ropes. I had a lot of different mentors growing up. And he showed me that the wealthy and the rich, you know, they think a little bit different. You know, they're not clocking in, clocking out. They're not after 10 or 15, you know, dollars an hour, or they're not looking for that 50-cent raise every year. You know, they were thinking different. And he really reprogrammed my brain, because I come from a Hispanic home where it was all about school. It was all about, hey, you got to go get that job degree, the works. And yeah, he reprogrammed me, man. And that's where my entrepreneurship really endeavors began.
That's super cool. So what brought you into the network marketing space where you met this mentor? Was it just like somebody brought it up to you and you like went to a meeting?
It's a crazy story. So I bashed network marketing for years. So for whoever's listening to this and you've been approached in network marketing and you're just so anti of it, that was me, man. I was big into sports. I was the captain of the football team. I was the quarterback for my high school. I was going to go play college football. So I thought I was the coolest kid on the block. I bashed network marketing. And what really opened my eyes was the need for money. See, I got a football scholarship, but I needed, you know, a couple $1,000s to go pay for room and board. So yeah. I'm like, how can a kid with no job now afford to pay for room and board? So little do you know, I saw a tweet by a friend in high school, and he put up his check from his network marketing company. I'll never forget, it was for $328. And I said, if he can make that much money in his first week, I can triple that. Little do you know, I got involved in network marketing. My first day, you know, my story goes a little bit different from people in network marketing. My first day, I made $1,000 in network marketing. I was 17. And it just clicked for me. Network marketing really clicked. I had influence. I had a goal. I had a mission. I had a big why, which was my single mother. And from there, man, you know, I'm still in network marketing. I'm 6 years, close to 7 years now. And it's a passion, because I believe we could help people go from literally nothing to something, and it could create cash flow so you could start investing and really heading to other places, you know, for our entrepreneurs.
Straight up. So a lot of people that I have on the show have backgrounds in network marketing, which I think is super interesting. Why do you think that is, that so many entrepreneurs get started in that field?
I believe because it's like the first door that people could see what it is to be a business owner, to run your own show, run your own game. And for people like me that were young starting, I was 17. I didn't know about people skills, communication. If you put me in front of a room when I was 17, in front of 30 people, I would sweat, get nervous, you know, red face, the works. That's how it was when I was reading papers in high school. But it really taught me about communication. It taught me how to sell. It taught me just how to be a business owner. Life skills that weren't taught in high school. I don't even believe in college. So I've seen a lot of my friends who have either started with network marketing, are still in, or left, now are great business owners, are great entrepreneurs. And it's a great, how I like to say, a university for people that want to become, you know, entrepreneurs, 100%.
Yeah, and I think like the personal development side of network marketing is something that not a lot of people spend a lot of time talking about when they're on the outside. But like all these like seminars you can go to, all these mentors you can learn from, it is a really valuable thing that you're getting sometimes for free from these different companies.
Exactly. Yeah. The personal development side is what I could say shaped me. Like I told you, my mentor, he played a big part. But from early on, I mean, Rich Dad Poor Dad, the book, 45 napkin presentation, 45-second napkin presentation, you know, the GoPros, all these books started to play a role into just everyone that's listening. It's just, it reprograms your mind. See, we've been taught to think a certain way. And a lot of these books seminars, outside of network marketing. I share a conference all the time that I attended that to this day taught me so much. It's called the Millionaires Mindset Intensive by T. Harv Eker.
Mm.
And it taught me, I came to that conference because of network marketing. And it just taught me how important personal development was, to see the outlook on money different, to see the outlook on entrepreneurship, and just see the world in a different, vibrance.
For sure. So talk about this mentor and the role that he had on you. You connected through this network marketing company. Was he helping you like grow your business through that, or what was he helping you out with?
Yeah, so he was one of the uplines, I guess you could call it, in the network marketing company I was in. I had a couple different mentors. I was blessed. I had an individual by his name was Eddie. He taught me really the spiritual side of mentorship, how much important personal development was. I then had a couple by the name of Debbie and David. They've made close to $50 million in network marketing, and they taught me really how to become a professional business owner. And they looked at me as one of their kids, really, where they took me to places. They changed my environment. They took me to places where steaks were $300. And to me, I had $300 in my bank account. You know what I mean? So at the time, so I was like, they were shaping me, changing my environment little by little. And then a mentor I credit a lot to, his name is Brian, one of the best in the industry by far. And he just showed me how there's more than just network marketing. See, a lot of people just get, you start in network marketing, but you forget that being an entrepreneur, there's a lot more out there for you. And he just showed me there was so many different avenues and streams of places where you could really benefit from, help people, and create, passive income flow. So those are really the main. Another, of course, the Bob Proctors, the Jim Rohns, the works. But those were the people that were guiding me hand in hand, and really made me who I am, of course, today.
Sure. So for a lot of people, it seems like network marketing is kind of like one of those first stepping stones for you to take to sort of transition into entrepreneurship. So for you personally, since you're still in the industry, do you see it as like a stepping stone? Do you think you're going to be in the industry for a while? Or what are you thinking about like that?
I see network marketing, I always talk about it with my girlfriend, with my family. And it's just, I think I'm always going to be in this industry. The reason being is because when someone gives you the gift, which I believe that's what network marketing is, I right now, if I go downstairs, walk through the streets, I could find anybody that maybe doesn't have the right vehicle or the opportunity or the right guidance, but they have the work ethic and they have the will. I know network marketing, if it touches the right people who are ready to work and ready to strive, they're going to get impacted. So to me, it was like, my message isn't done. Network marketing will always be a way for me to help people. It's more now less than the money. It's more about how many people and how much value we could give. Because to me, network marketing, I'm a success story of network marketing, and I know what it could do for others. So why stop if I'm 24 right now, 30, 35? It's just a beautiful industry where you could help grow, help people achieve. And I see it always being here. I think creating a passive income stream in network marketing, no matter what your age is, or I've met so many entrepreneurs who have made millions elsewhere, are still a part of it because of the culture, the ambience, the conferences, the personal development. So me personally, I'll always be in it because of that.
Awesome. So you mentioned like work ethic, and that's really important for somebody to have success in this industry. What do you think, like, who do you think network marketing is a good fit for? Like if a listener's out there, they're 18, 19, 20 years old, they're like, they've been thinking about it. They've been approached by a couple different companies. They're like, I don't know if this is right for me or not. Like, who do you think network marketing is like genuinely like good for, and who's going to thrive in this space?
I believe it could be for anybody, really, if you find the correct home. If you have the correct product that you believe in and you have the correct mentorship that's going to guide you. Unfortunately, network marketing could have a bad name because people either get signed up through a link on the internet or don't have the right company or don't have the guidance, or a guy selling, for example, makeup tutorials. Like, things won't make sense, So for example, if everything fits a line and you play your part and just follow the system that typically any network marketing company follows, because it's really just all structured and systematic, I think anybody could have success. But, for those of you that are listening and they're looking into network marketing or have been, contemplating doing it, understand it's difficult, but it's the easiest place where it could all begin for you. It's a place where if you really get going and don't give up, for example, me in network marketing, my first year and a half, 2 years, I didn't make any money. But, then when I was 19 years old and a half, I'd say I hit my first 6-figure income. So if you have the patience, the will to strive, I know network marketing could be for those people, but you have to understand you got to work just like any other industry.
Absolutely, absolutely. So throughout that time period, you got involved in network marketing. You weren't going to college. When did you first get sort of introduced to the crypto space?
So the crypto space was actually, I'd say 3.5 years ago. I've always been in the markets of Forex.
Okay.
I've dabbled in the markets. I've taught in the markets. I've done a network marketing company previously that dabbled in the market of Forex. And just through the works of network marketing, and also my first mentor, his name was Eddie. He was an engineer for Apple, and this individual was very techie, all right? Always techie. And he actually showed me Ethereum back when Ethereum was like $4, $5, $6. And I didn't like Ethereum, but I like Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin led me to XRP, which is Ripple, one of my favorite, cryptocurrencies. And from there, man, it's history. I started just dabbling, really just going all in. I'm the type of guy, when I find something I love and I'm passionate for, I could be 14 hours on a computer every day, just researching, learning, adapting, everything, and then taking action, which is the most important. So that's where cryptocurrency started. I started researching. I caught the wave early of 2017, for example. I was able to buy most of these cryptocurrencies we see today at fractions of a cost. And from there, just the love and passion, and of course, the return and the profits led me to then now teaching people around the world, not only how to make money on it and in it. Yes, it's a great asset class, but I believe people overlook something that's very important, which is the technology. If they could understand what cryptocurrency is as blockchain technology, what it is as a whole, investing, trading, even adoption and using it is going to make more sense for people. So that's how it all started for me.
Yeah. So what was the draw for you at first? I mean, you said it was something that you were really passionate about. What was the draw?
The drive, my why and the drive has always been just, my single mother. I saw it as an outlook. Network marketing has always been there, but I saw cryptocurrency, at the time, I share a story. I turned, for example, a portfolio from about $20,000 to close to $1 million in just about 8 months. And all I did was just, correctly research, correctly put my time into assets that I knew were going to be here 5, 10, 15 years from now. But the drive was always just my single mother and just getting my family ahead and myself. And I just saw it as, it's like catching Amazon. You hear all these statements all the time, but I felt like I was catching the wave, the pre-wave, like the wave no one even knew existed. Even though crypto's been around for a while, even then, I saw it as, wow, I'm one of the pioneers in this space. So that's what really drove me.
So talk to us about that time period of like 2017, the up and then the down. What was that like for you? Because I mean, like on this show, like I'm having entrepreneurs like yourself share a lot of like positive experiences, but like with that crash, like I want young entrepreneurs to like hear the truth of it, like not just like the Instagram picture that we're painting every single day with like the highlight reel. Like I want people to hear the real stuff. So like talk to us about like the real stuff.
It's scary, man. 2017 taught me a lot about myself in regards to money, ego, attachment to money. Because imagine being, I was 21, 22, and you're seeing a portfolio every day go up 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. I think my biggest day my portfolio went up was 150 grand in one day. And you get this feeling of lust that you're just going to, this is the end all. You're going to make $1 billion. You're going to become a multi-millionaire over this. And then the crash happened. And a lot of my friends, myself, some of us didn't sell at the right times at certain points. And for example, I was blessed because I got before everything took off. So I was always in profit. I was always in a good position. But when the crash did happen, I saw a lot of people get frustrated, for better words, very, very, very mad, angry. I saw people demotivated, depressed. I even got into the stage where I was, why isn't this market going back up? You get into this denial. And for those of you that study cryptocurrency or even trade, it's called an Elliott wave. It's just the market, correcting itself. And when the capitulation part happened, where it's just the market dropped, from 10 grand to 3 grand, It was scary. I started to even lose belief in crypto myself, a little bit. I always loved it. It's just like you always lose belief in yourself. But yeah, I was scared. A lot of people were scared. I've had people that invested 50, 100, 150,000 in Bitcoin. It was 10, 15, 20 grand. You hear the stories of people, refinancing their homes, trying to get into the space of crypto. And it's scary. So in crypto and anything, for those of you listening, understand that if you study it and understand it correctly, you could be prosperous. But if you catch this when it's a falling knife, it can get very, very ugly for you, and you could be down 97% of your initial investment. It's happened. I've heard people buy Ripple at $3.50. It dropped to 25 cents, so I was scared. I was panicking. But that all gave me a life lesson. So now preparing us for, the future bull runs that are going to happen in crypto.
Absolutely. And so many people, like you said, man, 2017, were just getting in, having done no research, having no understanding of what they were actually putting their money in. They just saw this chart that just went up and up and up, and they imagined it going up forever. So I think that's really important to touch on, and like disconnecting your ego and your emotions from your investing and your trading, because those two things, you mix them and it's just not going to be a good picture for anyone.
Exactly. Yeah, it can get very, very ugly very, very quickly. Especially it got to the point, you hear it all the time. You buy the fear, you sell the greed.
Yep.
That's a quote by Warren Buffett. And when it got to the point, Uber drivers, Uncle Tom, Uncle Jimmy, start telling you, well, crypto is, hey, you heard about this Bitcoin thing? I threw a couple $100 in it. That should be a red flag in your eye. You know what I mean? So right now I see the market, it's starting to pick up some steam. I still believe, the ugly isn't over in my eyes. But yeah, for those of you that are getting in the market, do your research and really learn about this, because the space is beautiful if you let it be beautiful and prosperous for you. But if you're just throwing something money at it and you don't really know what it is, it could bite you in the butt. I'm not going to lie.
For sure. So like, what are some of the core pillars of trading crypto that you think are really important for listeners to understand if they're like interested in the space, but they're not involved yet?
Yeah, so cryptocurrency, they have to go into the mindset that, especially if you've traded other markets, at least this is my opinion, you got to really detach yourself. This isn't trading Forex. This isn't trading futures. This isn't trading stocks. Cryptocurrency is an animal of its own. Some pairs don't respect technical analysis. Some just do whatever they want. This market is so small and so manipulated that you have to go into this with that mindset and understand that it's very volatile. So other pillars I would recommend is really diversifying, creating a very professional and prosperous portfolio. What do I mean by that? Something I teach all the time is people marry one certain cryptocurrency. And that is, it could be good for you if it takes off, sure. But if you look at the giants of investing, Fidelity, TD, they all diversify in different asset classes. So if you're investing in, for example, cryptocurrency, you got to go into, Bitcoin, I believe, should always be at least more than 50, 60% of your portfolio. And then the rest should be split up into different allocations with other, cryptocurrencies like altcoins. Now, that's what I teach, which ones I believe are going to be here 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, like the tech era, where stocks just popped up all the time. But, we only have now the Amazons, the Walmarts, the eBays alive still. That's what you want to be investing in. So another pillar would be really, what is your risk appetite? A lot of people get into this with money that if they lose it, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
So you hear it, but you really need to understand that invest what you're willing to lose, because in cryptocurrency, by all means, experts, gurus, even myself, I catch myself sometimes saying the market's going to go up and swing. And sometimes you take a hit. Sometimes you're not always correct in the market, and you could be down 10, 20, 30, 40% on a trade or on your portfolio. And it happens when the bear market hit. You got to be prepared for these things. So I would say being correctly in the mind, emotionally, having that detached from money is really going to make you successful in the space of crypto. But for those of you that are hearing this for the first time, this, by all means, don't let this intimidate you. This is like this with any market. Cryptocurrency is an emerging space where if you take advantage of it, by all means, you could be wildly successful and wealthy. It's just understanding everything. Everything has rules in the world. Everything has laws. And if you master those that I just mentioned, you could see a really good future ahead.
For sure. So there's this argument that I've heard pretty frequently that like cryptocurrency isn't really a viable like way to pay for stuff until like these swings sort of like simmer down. So what do you think about that argument? Or like, do you think that crypto will or is already like a viable way to make payments, or do you think the volatility is still too much?
I think, see, this is the thing. I analyze, see, I've been studying more of the economies around the world now with cryptocurrency and what it could do. Let's give examples now. Venezuela as a country, Zimbabwe. Let's think of countries that they're going through hyperinflation, and there is no way to do transmittance or any remittance payments around the world. Bitcoin is one of the best alternatives out there where it could help people around the world send money from A to B, no third party, no 3% charge, no merchant charge, no one in between. And that could really help people. Now, let's say the US. Does it make sense to go to Starbucks and pay Bitcoin? A lot of people don't. Me personally, I don't spend my Bitcoin. I see it, as an asset. It's like storing gold before, the ETF hit and the thing just rocketed. I would, I hold a lot of my cryptocurrencies. Do I take profits? Yes, but at the levels I want to then spend my money correctly. But as of right now, at least in the space of at least US, I don't see it as a way that it's being adopted. Yes. Now we're seeing, I believe the last headline was, I think AT&T is now accepting people paying their bills in cryptocurrency. In a lot of places, Amazon, I believe it works. But do I see people doing it? No, because I think they believe it holds value. It's not like you're paying your dollar and the next week, maybe it's $1.50. It's different with Bitcoin, but out there of the world where, for example, 30% of the world is unbanked. You have to think of these countries. Bitcoin is a place where it's saving lives. I believe it's saving families, and it's creating a way to transmit with less fees and, A to B interaction. So it goes both ways. That's what I see.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. So do you think that these huge price swings are going to sort of like decrease over time, or do you think Bitcoin is going to be pretty volatile and other cryptos are going to be pretty volatile for like the foreseeable future?
I think there will always be for quite some time volatile. The reason being it's an emerging asset class. Previously it was really Tom and Joe and whoever investing. If you see the space of cryptocurrency to kind of give perspective and insight, crypto's tiny. The market cap, meaning the entire space of cryptocurrency, is only $250 billion. So 250 billion. That's it. If you look at stocks, there are stocks that are in the top 100 of the S&P 500 that are bigger than that. So Bitcoin is a baby, Ripple is a baby, Ethereum is a baby. So for it to scale like we're believing, so it's going to grow in price and in dramatic, parabolic moves like we've seen it happen in the past. So in the future, do I see it simmering down and calming down? Yes. But until we get to, I believe, possibly 100,000 of Bitcoin, 250,000 of Bitcoin. Why? Because by then, we might not even be alive, but by then, if crypto still exists, there's no more mining for Bitcoin, meaning that the only way to earn if you're a miner is by the fees. So in my belief and what I have for the future, at least I think, is that Bitcoin's just going to stay stable eventually once we get to a certain price. But for now, we're going to see swings from 3 to 8, 8 to 6, 6 to 4, 4 to 10, 10 to 20, because now we have institutions, which I believe is an interesting subject to talk about. We have New York Stock Exchange, we have ICE, we have Fidelity, we have TD Ameritrade. We have so many now big money players coming into the space that what do you think that's going to cause in Bitcoin's price and crypto? It's just going to take it, to the moon and really create some volatility and swings. So yeah, it's going to happen for a while still.
Super interesting. So like, what are your thoughts on like the talk of regulation on crypto?
I think it's going to be an interesting place for it to happen. Little by little, I don't know if you're seeing regulators are stepping in. The reason being is the big boys want to play chess. And what do I mean by that? The people that move billions of dollars, the hedge fund, the venture capitalists, but they're not going to play chess in a chessboard that is not regulated or that could be hacked or that still is iffy in a gray area. So as regulation comes in play, if that does, for example, we have to wait for the SEC and at least for the government to really take it and adopt to it. I believe that does happen, it's going to create a huge a huge wave, a new wave for cryptocurrency. So I look forward to it. Some cryptocurrencies like Ripple are trying their best to be, approved by regulators and the SEC. Why? Because they want this to happen. There's two concepts in cryptocurrency. There's the Bitcoin maximists that they hate the banks, they hate the governments, they hate this, they hate that. But we have to understand that governments, societies, banks will always be here.
Mm-hmm.
We have to understand that and accept that. So we have to look at, if crypto does get accepted, that's the best way for it to really be adopted worldwide.
100%.
And regulated, of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to talk a little bit more about your personal business right now, because between network marketing and crypto, you've got a couple different things on your plate. So how do you think about like balancing your time, energy, focus, resources between like multiple different things that you're doing?
Of course. So right now I do, of course, network marketing with a company called imarketslive. I'm one of their top earners, and pretty much what I do is most of my day, and I could say night, is considered, network marketing. I run meetings, events, calls, trainings. I travel and run events. Now, most of my night, I'm actually an educator and trader for our company. So we're a financial fitness company where we teach people how to trade and invest correctly in the markets. So we teach them, the space of Forex, the space of crypto, binary options. And I'm one of the educators and traders there. So I balance my time as mostly in the late nights and early mornings. I'm looking at cryptocurrency, the charts, the investments, the research, because how I see it is at least most of my business and network marketing is awake during the day, right? So at night, I could be looking at the charts. And interesting enough, where I am Eastern time, late night is when, the market moves the most, at least in London, for example, for Forex, and also with cryptocurrency. I see more of the volatility, happen there because of Asia. So balancing my time, I get the question all the time, but it works feasible. A lot of people have 2, 3, 4, 5 things on their plate, or people, regular people that are starting on entrepreneurship have families, 3 dogs, 2 jobs. It's just really allocating your time correctly. And that way, you could strive in every single aspect of your life correctly.
For sure. Do you have any sort of tips or strategies that have been effective for you that do you think might help out a younger listener when it comes to like time management?
Time management, I would say I see it all the time. I learned at that conference I attended, a Millionaires Mindset Intensive, to always just write down your day. It's just things you need to do every single day and knock it out. And something that took me a lot of time to finally master, and I know it's going to sound simple, but for people that are listening, I encourage you and challenge you to try this, is when you think about it, do it. When you think about it, do it. Don't hesitate. Don't put it in the back burner. Just go out there. If you need to do laundry, let's say, you need to walk the dog, you need to go out there, write it down. But if it pops up in your head, don't hesitate. Just take action on it. And you're going to see how little by little, every single action, taken in place by level is just going to make your day a lot quicker. You're going to find a lot more time. And for time management, a lot of us are young. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I want you all to just focus on you, focus on your circle, focus on your friends, and, really try to put the social media, at least stop watching and be the creator like you. You know what I mean? Like a lot of entrepreneurs right now, just waste their time unfortunately on social media, and it's the new TV. I don't watch TV, but social media is the new TV, and people get caught up. And that's why they're running ads on social media. So that's where, if you catch yourself, you really break down your day. That's what I would recommend. Break down your day and see where you're throwing your hours at. And then stop saying you don't have enough time and invest it in certain areas that you should be doing.
Straight up. Because we all have 24 hours, and a mentor of mine and somebody who I actually had on the podcast, episode 108, I believe, his name's Justin JC Collins. He brought up this concept that he coined called think do. And it's, you take the word think, you take the word do, you put them together. So you think about something and then you do it right away. Like you don't hesitate between those things. Like you think about it, you do it. So that's something that I think you brought up. And I think it's really important because especially for me, I find myself like I'll have a task that will take me maybe 2 minutes and I'll think that I should do it. And then I'll write it down and then I won't come back to it. It'll be like nagging at me for a while. But like literally if you have something for me, like if it's less than 5 minutes, like I will usually just like do that on the spot because like the thought of like, it's running in your head. You have to do this thing, like just doing it right away. It keeps you focused and it keeps you making sure that like you're moving forward and not like letting all these little things pile up and sort of get in the way.
Exactly. I think that's That's key, you know, and it took me a while to master it, but I noticed my day is just boom. It's just, you think you do, you think you do, you think you do. And you're going to see that reciprocate in other aspects of your life, which is amazing.
Absolutely, that's the truth. Now, when it comes to trading, what are some of the things that you think are really important for our listeners to understand before they get into this space? Okay, because a lot of people are like, they got the shiny objects in them. They're like, oh, I'm going to get involved in trading. Talk to us about maybe some of the negatives, or like some of the things that people need to watch out for before they just like go all in on trading.
100%. Well, first is just to understand that it takes money to make money, you know, and you have to also understand that there is a possibility that you could possibly be down a couple bucks trading, investing, the works, you know?
Yeah.
So, but if you get involved in the markets, in Forex and crypto, the works, if you're going to start trading, I would recommend first off, have a game plan. You need a game plan. You need to have a mentor. You need to have a course. You need to have a system. You know, they say that 97% of people that trade in the markets lose because they don't have proper guidance. You know, it's like just throwing yourself out there. You're going to lose. You don't know how to read a chart. You don't know what's going on with news. You don't know about the market. Of course you're going to lose. You might as well go to the casino is what I tell people if you're not educated. So have a game plan, have a mentor, and then you're going to see that these courses and mentors are going to shape you like, you know, like a knife, little by little, we're sharpening it. But from there is just really focus on one pair, for example. If you're going to be trading, for example, for most of my crypto students that I have, I tell them focus on one pair. Or if you're going to be trading Forex, focus on one pair and marry it. You know, see how it breathes, how it walks, how it everything. Because when you're reading a chart, you're going to see its movement. It has its own character. It's a personality, as crazy as it sounds. And not be looking at 10 different things. I'm going to trade oil. I'm going to trade this. I'm going to trade – no. If you're starting out, marry a pair, understand how it moves, understand its price action. So then little by little, you could start adding different pairs, maybe a second one, a third, a fourth. I don't recommend trading more than 4 or 5 pairs until you really master the art of trading. But it's just having a game plan, know your risk to reward ratio, and understand that it's going to take time. Look, some people pick this up faster than others. You know, some people are better at video games, you know, faster than others, sports faster than others. But if you're consistent and you stick with it, it may take a year, 2 years, 3 years. But to me, trading and investing, you could be anywhere around the world. And as long as there is internet or service on your cell phone, you could be making money. So to me, that is financial freedom at its finest. And if you master it, charts, markets, they're not going to disappear. If the money disappears, there'll be a new market. If crypto disappears, there'll be a new emerging market. But a chart will always be a chart. And if you know how to trade and invest, you could be making money all year long.
Straight up. Now, Nick, you've been dropping a lot of value on our listeners so far, and I'm extremely grateful for that. I do have some questions that I like to ask all of my guests. Are you feeling ready for those?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. So the first thing I'm curious about is, what is something that genuinely has Nick Gomez excited right now?
Right now, wow, a lot. Traveling the world with my girlfriend, for sure, having cryptocurrency, hopefully get out of this bear market. And right now, I just launched and started dabbling a lot with e-commerce and Amazon. And other than that, just really seeing a lot of my students and, you know, business partners in network marketing really emerge and borderline close to a 6-figure income. So that's what got me excited right now.
Awesome, dude. That's some big stuff in the works. I'm excited to hear more about that as time goes on. Yes. So, Nick, do you have any habits that have served you particularly well, either in your business, your lifestyle, just things you do on a regular basis to get you to that next level?
Yeah, so I would say just one that really shaped everything for me. It's affirmations. This played a huge role. I did a training on this last week to one of my teams here in network marketing. And it all goes back to how you look at money and just how you're wired. And I started saying, you know, some of these affirmations. I believe I have them on my computer. And they make a big impact in your life, you know, where you start feeding, but also saying every day. Like I'm gonna read a couple to you.
Sure.
For example, this is what I would wake up every day, and I would be in the shower. And what would I do is, for example, I would have my goal card, and I would have, you know, my vision board. I always, when I was 17, 18, 19, I wanted a BMW. It was the thing that I wanted more than anything in the world. I just wanted a BMW. I wanted a white, red interior convertible. That was my dream. And what I did was I always print of what I want to see. So for example, I put the BMW in my bathroom, in my room, on my roof, in my shower. And every single time I would just, that's my BMW. That's my BMW. I believe that's mine. And I would read affirmations that would create, a new world for me. And the craziest thing is I haven't said these in a while. And I found them, and I was speaking with a business partner before. And I found how crazy it is that these affirmations all are my reality every single day now. So for example, I'm going to read a couple. It says, I create my life. I create the exact amount of my financial success. I play the money game to win. My intention is to create wealth and abundance. I admire and model rich and successful people. I believe money is important. Money is freedom, and money makes life more enjoyable. I get rich doing what I love. I deserve to be rich because I add value to other people's life. I'm a generous giver, excellent receiver. I am truly grateful for all the money I have now. Lucrative opportunities always come my way. My capacity to earn, hold, and grow money expands day by day. And I would say that every day. And there's another sheet. I would say 2. And every day in the shower, mad, happy or not, good in business or doing bad in business, I would say it and say it and say it and say it. And little do you know, years later, I had that BMW. I lived in the condo that I had pictured. I all the affirmations, the passive income, the financial freedom, everything that I would say from an affirmation standpoint became my reality. So if you're growing in entrepreneurship, I recommend set goals. These are habits that are very important because you achieve them, they become your day-to-day life, and affirmations are just going to shape you. They're going to make you believe. You might be reading these things, but you might not believing it. But by saying it every day, every single day, you're creating a consciousness around the world, the universe, and it's just going to give to you. But you just got to believe and say it.
I love that so much. Now, Nick, I know you're putting out, or you're rather teaching people a lot of stuff when it comes to trading. Is there any content you're consuming or any sources you're learning from right now, whether that's books, audiobooks, podcasts, YouTube channels? Where are you getting your content?
From a mix of sources as of now, really, what I've done is I've indulged, a lot of content from so many different YouTube people and traders in specific. There's a trader that I admired a lot. His name was actually Picasso, Crypto Picasso, and I got a lot of his teachings, a lot of his knowledge. And then from there, really just creating my own. I stay up to news, I stay up to that. But once you really master a craft, you start to really build on top of it and build on top of it and build on top of it. By all means, I stay up to date with news. And by all means, I also always say there's always bigger and bigger rooms in the world for improvement, So if there's a mentor out there that I'll hopefully find in the future to up my trading game, there are. And of course, for example, the CEO of my company, his name's Christopher Terry, is an individual that has shaped me and helped me a lot when it comes to trading. So for sure.
I love it. Now, Nick, one other thing I want to ask you about is what are some of the things in your business you do that don't scale? And when I say don't scale, one example that I like to give is like every single day I'll go on Instagram and I'll look at my new followers in the last 24 hours. I'll pick like 5 to 10 people to send them a personal video message, just something like, hey, Nick, how's it going? Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Let me know if there's any way that I can add value to anything that you're doing. Have a wonderful day. Something super simple like that. It's not something that I bring one of my VAs on to just like send out all day on my behalf.
Yeah.
Like these are messages that I am sending to people to start a real conversation, because that's like why I'm on social media, is to like start conversations with people. So is there anything for you that has that personal like Nick Gomez touch to it that you choose not to like scale to a large level?
I think I like to call myself a storyteller. And what I mean by that is I meet a lot of people that want to grow network marketing. They pull me aside at events or when I'm doing, some of these seminars, and they ask me, personal questions of, hey, I'm going through this, going through that. What I try doing the most, that I could say it gives me that personal touch, is I try to put myself in their shoes, and I teach with being in their shoes. What I mean by that is when people are having trouble breaking through, some of these ranks or levels or trading, I go back to how was I when I was 20 years old or 19 years old? And I really put myself in that place and that persona so I could give the person the value that they need and the guidance. So that's what I tend myself finding a lot. I don't do it at a massive scale. It's more of when I get pulled aside and I see somebody really wants it, I try to remember, how did I feel? How did I feel living at mom's? How did I feel driving up a beater Corolla? How did I feel getting told no or losing my trading account or that? So I believe that's like my personal touch and what I really like doing.
I love it, man. And that's super huge. And that could really benefit a lot of people who are able to really internalize that. Now, Nick, you've been dropping so much value on the podcast. I'm extremely grateful for you. I know our listeners got a ton out of this because I did as well. where can they go? Where should they go if they want to follow up with you, learn more about Nick Gomez and what you're currently working on right now in the crypto and network marketing spaces?
So currently my website is down, but what everyone could do is they could reach out on my Instagram. So it's Nick Gomez, NickGomez_12. And then I have my YouTube channel as well there. So for people to kind of get some basics in the space of crypto, I'll have my website launched there. And that's where a lot of people, could indulge some of the content on YouTube and of course my Instagram.
Cool. And I'll be sure to link up both of those in the show notes for this episode as well. Nick, again, I'm really grateful for you and spending your time here on Young Smart Money. Do you have any last closing thoughts, words of wisdom, or anything you want to share with the listeners here today to close out the show?
100%. Well, first of all, man, appreciate you. You're crushing it, man. Crushing it in the interview. Saw a lot of my buddies that are in the space with me on it. And hey, man, you're great at what you do, brother. But other than that, I really want to, hopefully touch someone's life on this podcast. That's my goal, just one person. And, if you're struggling, if you are by all means stuck, understand we're not trees, we're not deep rooted. We could change. It doesn't matter your zip code, your car, where you live in. It doesn't matter. If you make the decision and compound that decision day by day, month by month, year by year, I'm telling you, there's so many success stories you guys are going to hear on this podcast. There's so many success stories you hear out there, but it's all because people stayed consistent over something they're passionate about and found that they could help a lot of people with. So that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate you so much, and thanks for having me.
That's the truth. Nick, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you choosing to spend it here on Young Smart Money. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, my man. Appreciate you.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode of Young Smart Money and got a ton of value out of it. If you did, do not forget to subscribe to the podcast. It only takes about 5 seconds. If you're walking the dog, if you're going to the gym, pull that phone out of your pocket, press that subscribe button, and drop us some love in the ratings and review sections as well. Those really do help the podcast get in front of even more people and helps us get even more amazing guests on the show. And I do read each and every one of your ratings, reviews, message that you send me. They really do impact me and the show and show me exactly what you want to be seeing here on Young Smart Money. So again, do not forget to drop us a rating, review, and subscribe over in iTunes. And guys, have a wonderful day. Take care. And I really do appreciate you choosing to spend your time here with us on Young Smart Money. Have a wonderful day. Real quick, just launched a new project called the Online Course Examiner, basically the Yelp of online courses. It is blowing up lately, onlinecourseexaminer.com. Check it out.